Yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm here with Jasmine today. So glad you joined us. Jasmine, do you want to tell us about yourself a little?
Yeah. I'm Jasmine, as you introduced me. I am a senior motion graphic designer with Depth, working for the Meta account, and also an art director during my freelance opportunities that I get.
You're professionally right at like the cusp of like the kind of traditional design work and then more like big tech, right?
Mhm.
Like walk us through your work as a senior motion designer on Meta's team at Depth and how that differs from like other more traditional roles.
Yeah, when I first started, it was more of a traditional kind of senior motion graphic designer. Again, the reason why I joined Apple, it's one of the it's a great company to work with. Honestly, it's a huge engine, as you would say. But one of the main reasons is because I knew that Depth was very AI driven, and it integrated it with their work. And my background, like I came from TVO at that time as an art director, and it's a government company, so basically we weren't allowed to use any sort of AI, whether it's ChatGPT. So in the beginning, we weren't really like my specific team. We weren't really using AI through. Q2, they introduced this system called Weavy, and basically Meta is integrating that in all their workflows in creative, or it's in someone in data science, or they kind of threw us into it, and I took the opportunity to learn it. It's a node-based system, so you kind of create your workflows in it, and almost like you create your own production house in that system. It's insane. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's the craziest things I've ever seen. Like, we're creating campaigns out of pure just AI models. Meta right now, they want us right now they're mainly letting us like change the stock images, because again, thinking about it, it's like much cheaper than buying stock, just engineering all these models. So we've been mainly doing that. I know other teams like Fanatics or eBay, they're like doing video, like heavy video production, which I'm like trying to tap into as well. So yeah, it's been insane. I've seen the amount of work people have been doing, and like rendering 3D models purely from just an AI workflow. It's incredible. Like, I'm so glad I like hopped on this opportunity right now, because I wouldn't imagine myself hopping and trying to build a new skill at the age of 40. Right? It might be hard for a lot of people, but I guess I got lucky. This kind of trend and wave of AI came at the right age.
What is a node-based system and how do you create stuff like with
Yeah,
just generative AI? How do you create a campaign from that?
it's an interface that has basically all the models, because AI is not just AI, it's there's models, there's different version of them. So they have all the image engines, all the video engines, all the 3D modeling engines, all in one system. And the way you connect them is that like you create a workflow. So let's say you you choose Nano Banana, and then you can integrate that into another AI model, which is, let's say, a video engine, which is Kling. So you do it all in one place. Before that, you had to jump from website to website. So now you can connect them with the nodes, right?
Mm.
They're like basically just connections, and that's what creates a workflow. Before that, you had different website. You had the Kling website. You had the, I don't know, maybe Nano Banana website or whatever, and then you had to hop from one website to another.
Mm.
Now think about it as like the Photoshop of AI, where you do everything in that system. You don't have to leave. You don't have to leave that place. Everything's just integrated there. And the way you create campaigns through that is like you create these like high level production workflows where you have to think like a creative director. You have to think like a director. When you want to create campaign, who do you hire? You hire a location scout, a set designer. You hire an art director. You hire a copywriter. So you create all these models in the system, and you basically have a bunch of models with specific roles that usually you'd hire people for, and and then you connect them together through the node-based system, and it creates this crazy workflow, and it engines all these images that you would have taken 3 to 4 months to produce if you do it with people, which is amazing, honestly. Like I'm still very attached to like the human creation, but I'm also I also like to I'm very curious about new things.
Like how is going from traditional design work and
Mhm.
work that to jumping on to kind of all this AI stuff to where you're almost talking like a software engineer to me right now, right?
Mhm.
How
Yeah. Well, I jumped into this trend like 4 months ago. I'm someone who always wants to be on top of the trend, always wants to be on top of the game, just because I don't want to be 40 or 50 and then have someone younger than me replace my career, because just because they just know what's trending right now. I don't know a lot. Like I'm not like this workflow creator, AI creative director. Like I'm still learning. I've been kind of eyeing it for a while, but not until Depth really introduced me to Weavy, which is the node-based system, which I think is the best system to create image production or like video production. And that's from there, it just like my after hours were constantly, I'd be like at lunch with my partner and I'm like on the phone just doing my research. So I gave myself a crash course,
Mm.
a very heavy crash course. But it took 4 months and I've been creating really cool workflows. So it's not it's not as hard as we think it is, but you do need some sort of media background or some sort of like creative background to really create these things, because at the end of the day, these AI models, like they're a bunch of data, right? They have all this data in them. They don't have the human touch, which is taste. They
Yeah.
don't have taste. So you can give it a prompt. You could tell it create a flash photography of a group of friends having a drink at a bar, and it could give you the worst output. But as the human, like giving it its information, you still need to give it all these like little details, all these like information that an AI model doesn't have. You need to direct it the right way.
How has Meta at Depth navigated, creating this culture to where you're comfortable using all this AI, despite kind of like you said, the threat it poses to you?
The thing is, like Depth, they didn't they gave us the opportunity, just like any great company. They told us, you have this opportunity to learn, to try this new thing. If you're comfortable, we know that it's not easy to learn a whole new skill, right? But a lot of people here are a little bit scared. It's mostly because they don't like, you've worked your entire life as a graphic designer, as a producer, as a, I don't know, copywriter or whatever, and now you're kind of having to learn this like new skill set. And you ask yourself, what if I don't know how to do it? What if this is something hard for me? Like, I don't want to learn all this new stuff. But again, like, they're not replacing anyone. Again, I think the misconception with AI is that people think that it's going to take our jobs, it's going to replace us. I mean, I don't know from different perspectives, but from the creative side, I do know that, yeah, it is taking a big toll from our like it is taking a big weight from our shoulders. A simple example for that would be, like 6 years ago, if you told me to add a specific amount of space, like make a image bigger, it would take me like a whole day kind of adding and cloning stuff just to make an image bigger. But now I just need to kind of select it and expand it on Photoshop or whatever. So you still need a graphic designer to do this. You still need a art director to do this or whatnot. It's just made my life 10 times easier. So we're producing campaigns, images, content on a higher level and a faster speed. but it's not necessarily replacing people. It's only replacing the people who don't want to learn, who don't want to create this new skill. And I don't blame them. I mean, it is something that just randomly came to be. Just like any other skill, do your research, learn about it, do some tests. Left it like I had to do a lot of tests. I spent a lot of credits, but thankfully, I was learning through the company, so it didn't take a toll on me financially. But if someone's starting out now, this is the right opportunity because I see LinkedIn left and right. Right now, people are hiring AI creatives, AI workflow creators, AI directors. This is the next God knows how many years.
Mhm.
It's the future, and it's not just the future; it's the present, and it's happening right now, and it's happening at an extremely high speed. So again, I mean, you don't have to, but it's just gonna make your life a little bit harder.
How does working on the Meta account specifically give you access to like certain AI tools that enhance your design work that maybe like other people won't have?
Well, we don't really have specific access to things that people don't have. Anything that we have access to, everyone else has access to. For example, our system is basically mainly Weavy, and anyone can have a subscription over Weavy. So we just have a closer connection to the creators. So we have channels where we can talk to the creators. We can ask them if they could update their interface or whatnot. Whereas people who are just subscribers can't necessarily do that. But yeah, that's the only difference.
So it seems very accessible, all this AI stuff. Like anyone can kind of learn this stuff.
Anyone,
Uh,
anyone can create. Anyone can create. Anyone, as long as you I mean, even without a film background or a media background, you can still create. It just makes it easier again if you do have that background. But yeah, it's accessible for anyone. It's just like Photoshop, just like Adobe Suite. You have to pay what, like $125 a month for the subscription. Same thing with AI. You pay for credits, you pay for a subscription. They give you an amount of credits every month. You spend them, you top it off. You don't, then the next month you pay the subscription all over again.
where do you draw the line between AI generated versus AI assisted?
That's an interesting question because um like I'm trying as much as possible to make my life easier.
Mhm.
So I don't really necessarily ask myself that question. I think what I do want to keep for myself though is the idea process.
Mhm.
It's the storytelling process. So um campaign context, right? Um, all this stuff. Like I would rather, this is where I draw the line where I don't want my story to be told like through an AI voice or an AI tone. I want that to be purely me. And then the creative part, not the creative part, the more of the production part, I would purely give it to the models to do that, and I would kind of build that workflow. But I think the idea and context and storytelling, I would say maybe pre-production side, I would keep it to myself. That's where I would draw the line.
Would like do you see a future where a director's job, like in your role, would only do the storytelling parts and then all the technical parts are kind of left to the AI to complete on their behalf?
Yeah, I would definitely see a future where, but again, like I would see a future with different roles. So you would still have your creative director, and then you would have a workflow engineer or AI workflow creative,
Mm.
or someone who specifically is specialized in image generation, someone who specialized in maybe 3D generation. You have all these little things um, that create this one workflow. So I think the roles are just going to shift. So instead of like, for example, you would hire a set designer or an art director,
Mm.
you would hire different roles. So you would hire a workflow creative. You would hire an AI director. So I think the roles would revolve around mostly AI and AI jobs, or like an AI graphic designer, I would say. So
Meta recently acquired Moltbook, which if you don't know or our audiences don't know, is basically presented as a social media platform for AI agents.
mhm.
But the AI agent would act on your behalf. They would be doing all the scrolling and the talking
Oh,
and networking. Yeah. Do you picture a future where a primary function of a designer is to kind of design for AI?
yeah, you see, this is where I kind of draw the line, where it's like you're not gaining really anything out of that, right? You're not creating anything. You're just replacing someone to post stuff for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to do that, then go for it. But I don't think I'm someone who would be interested in that, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. The only thing I would talk about myself right now is like I said, my background is in art direction. So right now mainly I'm focusing on creating, like, building a portfolio for my creative direction AI portfolio. I do really want to focus on that because, just like I said, um it is the future, and it is what's gonna be happening for the next, I don't know, 10, 20 years. So this is where I'm having a sort of a not a midlife crisis, a quarter life crisis, where I'm just like, oh, I love what I do, but this is amazing, and I don't know. I think I found my calling. A lot of people are against it. It's funny because a lot of creative are against it. But I think I think it's such a cool opportunity, such a cool way to create things. Like, imagine giving a creator, someone who's a creative, a platform, and tell him you can do whatever you want. Like, you can have someone hang from the Burj Khalifa and you don't have to pay for it.
Mhm.
Well, you gotta pay for it because you have your credits on your subscription, but you're not going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. Any idea? Because as creatives, like, we have all these like crazy ideas, but we obviously just naturally we have blocks, right? Because you can't travel to the Sahara and, I don't know, build an entire production if you're based in Toronto. What, 29 years old, right? Like, so, like, you have the opportunity right now. You have the opportunity to create whatever you want, right? Like, so you have the opportunity to create whatever you want. So I just think it's so cool. And ever since I got introduced to it, my mind has been running and running like an insane engine.
So if you were able to say like one or two sentences to someone who would be against this AI integration, what would you say?
I would say, I mean, try to understand why this is happening. I do understand why you would feel some sort of protectiveness over your craft. Um, but just give it a chance. I mean, give it a chance. You have the opportunity to create whatever you want. It's not going to take your career unless you let it. For every person who's upcoming, I do highly 100% recommend going the traditional route, graphic design or filmmaking or whatever you want, as long as it's like in the creative field, right? Go the traditional route, learn the fundamentals, let's say if we're talking about a graphic designer, learn the fundamentals of Adobe, learn the fundamentals of After Effects, of all these like kind of programs, applications that you need, and then hop into AI. Have the background, have the skill set, and then break the rules. You can't break the rules if you don't know them. Learn them, know how to follow them, and then start breaking them.
Okay, so we have one more question, and this is kind of touching on your roots in Beirut and that kind of thing. And this is the question where you can just feel free to bounce in and out of
Mhm.
in English. اوكي فانت تدربتي بمؤسسه برايت سايد بالبيروت في لبنان. شلون هاي ساعدتك هاي هذا التجربه الدوليه برحلتك المهنية؟
Okay, so bright side, I just want to give a shout out to Nadine. هي ساعدتني basically شو صار. Nadine, she's the founder of Brightside. And basically شو صار إنه أنا I was in my senior year بكونكورديا، كنت عم بدرس بمونريال. I was finishing up my senior film. I wanted it to be based around After Effects. وما عرفت كيف. None of my professors knew how to use the program. I had to do my research. I looked into that specific year هالسنة كنت نازلة على بيروت either way. So قلت let me اكتسب الopportunity وعامل internship ببيروت. So I did my research. فرفيقتي بعتت لي انستغرام بوست قالت لي ليكي هيدا الكومباني Brightside Beirut, they look like they do things in After Effects. Shoot them a message, just see what you could do. بعت لهم DM. I didn't even email them or anything. I sent them an Instagram DM. قلت لهم I'm graduating Concordia. I'm finishing up my senior project. I would love to have the opportunity to intern, بس at the same time إذا فيك تساعديني بنفس الوقت أتعلم After Effects لا أقدر أعمل لا أقدر خلصه للفيلم. فقالت لي of course, like she was so kind. She welcomed me with open arms. ما كان في نهار ما قعدت معي وقالت لي هيدا الشيء بدك تعملي هيدا الشيء. قعدت معي فسرت لي البروجرام من 0 ل 100. يعني if it wasn't for her I don't think I would have been a motion designer. I don't think at all I would have been a motion designer. She gave me the opportunity. She gave me the fundamentals and the foundation of where to start. Until this day مرات ببعت لها thank you, like I'm thinking about you. If you ever need me, you need help, just reach out to me and I'll help you. But yeah, it really shows you, that someone's willing to kind of take you with an open arms. Like she crafted the way to my career, right? And I'm forever thankful for that.